Welcome, dear listeners. I'm Jonathan Carlin.
And I'm Benjamin Carlin.
And we invite you to join us through the Griffin door, your one-way ticket to the enchanting world of Harry Potter. So grab your wands and dust off your broomsticks and join us as we unlock the dark corridors inside Order of the Phoenix Chapter 7, The Ministry of Magic, live in St. Louis! Woo! Yes. Oh, man. So excited to be here.
I am stoked.
Yeah.
I am stoked. I think this is going to be a lot of fun tonight. It's sort of an overall interesting chapter, to say the least.
It's a big world building chapter.
It's a very big world building chapter. I feel like it reminds me a lot of Harry's first trip into Diagon Alley a little bit, where there's a lot of descriptions about the world, but it's also it's wonderfully balanced in a way that is like still delivering you like a lot of like the whimsy of the wizarding world, while also like slightly all the time like having this like presence for the ministry, the government, the bureaucracy.
Well, it's like it's there, but it's like it's weird because it's like the whimsy, I feel like, is not there. That's like the difference.
Okay.
I think it is like the Ministry of Magic is like surprisingly unmagical as it goes. And it's like, it's a really interesting chapter because basically all that happens is Harry wakes up and goes to the Ministry.
That's
like,
it.
That's
Thank you guys for coming.
But you are painstakingly brought through every step of Harry's day between his bed and arriving in the courtroom.
Well, in so many ways, I feel like that's exactly what the chapter's after.
That is what it is. It is, I think, this chapter is so much, it is like, because not a lot happens, but it is meant to make you feel Harry's anxiety. It's like that overstimulation, and like almost every single sentence almost will like include something that like reminds you like I can't like escape. I can't get like a moment of relief. Like there is this constant itch around Harry at every second in this chapter, and I think that is part of why it is written the way it is written, to like make you feel Harry's anxiety. So if you're reading this chapter and you're like uncomfortable, I think that is extremely by design.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like the thing that I was going through, and I started like literally numbering it, because when he's on the lift inside of the ministry, it's going to go through every single floor and tell you what is on every floor.
Every floor.
You know, it's like one of those things where so often, I'm sure you guys are the same, where it's like you're falling asleep, listening to the books, you're mowing the lawn, you're doing the dishes, like whatever. You got it in your ears or you're reading the book. You just sort of like breeze it on. You kind of like know like that this is an essential step of the story. Like we need to set up the Ministry of Magic. We need to understand like how it all works. Harry needs to be shown how to get into the visitor's entrance because he's going to do it later. Like all of those pieces are there, but like as I'm going through and writing all the notes and everything, and I'm like, okay, so we get the 7th floor and the 6th floor and the 5th and 4th and 3rd. And it's like, do we need all of them?
Busy place.
Like,
busy place.
So I mean, realistically, I think people must dislike this chapter because they love to ask us St. Mungo's questions.
Oh yeah.
Nobody's ever really asking us
people
like what floor is happening.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
But like, realistically, if this chapter just started and it was like Harry arrived at the Ministry of Magic the next morning with Mr. Weasley, like you wouldn't even blink twice at it. You'd be like, right?
It would be a perfectly acceptable time jump because in the meantime, we're going to get to watch Harry have the most bland breakfast ever.
It tastes like carpet. Yeah. It's toast.
But before we dive on in proper, we obviously have to take a quick look at the chapter art.
We sure do. We can show you.
We can show you guys. Yes, look at that.
The Fountain of Magical Brethren.
Kurt Russell, can you see it okay?
Yeah, you see it?
Yeah, looks good, right?
How about now?
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Perfect.
Good.
No, I think that this one it's also maybe like a small piece of what's going on, rather like symbolically as like how the whole chapter is also structured.
It is extremely symbolic, yeah.
Yes, well, it's symbolic, I think, like immediately in a very obvious way, but I also think it's got like a second layer to it as well, because the Fountain of Magical Brethren is what we're obviously looking at here, which of course features a witch and a wizard, a centaur, a house elf, and a goblin.
Yeah.
And because this statue is ultimately destroyed and later replaced with like the Magic is Might statue, I feel like there can be this, and not that I think people are being hoodwinked by it or anything, but like this perception that this one was like better, that this one was good, and what they replace it with obviously just is bad. But what you really got going on here is wizards who have created the statue where 3 different beings are looking up at them affectionately, and that's not the position of any of those 3 beings.
It is very much reflective of Fudge's opinion of the present situation with Voldemort, where he's like, just ignore it. Everything is perfect the way it is.
Right.
And it's like, in his mind, this statue is how the world is. Like the centaurs and the house elves and the goblins. And it's like, especially those 3 races, because they're the other 3 like main intelligent races in Harry Potter. But like this one would suggest that everyone loves the wizards and looks up to them. But it's like, that's just not the case. Like the centaurs consider themselves beasts, like voluntarily, and they consider themselves on like equal, if not more, intelligence than the wizards. The goblins believe themselves to be horribly mistreated, and the elves are just actively slaves. So So like, not that they might actually be looking up for them, but like up to them, but not for good reasons.
Right. Yeah. So there's kind of this like gilding because they're golden statues. That's the other thing too. But then even like once we get into the ministry, I feel like there's kind of like an interesting layer too, where there's like a pristine nature to the ministry. Like it feels like these like, like luxurious almost carpets and kind of like gleaming tile walls and all this stuff. But then once they make it all the way down to where Harry's trial is ultimately going to be, things change a little bit. And there's like these like rough-hewn doors
and iron locks.
Like it looks very different. And so I almost feel like this is like the sparkle that sits on top of like the reality.
Yeah, which is where Fudge and Umbridge are.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like they are physically sitting in the space that represents their position.
Truth. Yeah.
The truth, yes.
Yeah, the truth of the ministry. But up above them is this lovely facade that is the statue of magical brethren.
That's exactly it. Exactly it. So probably more intense breakdown of our chapter art.
I know.
Versus usual.
I have more thoughts on it later, but we'll get to that. In any case, let's just go ahead and dive into the chapter here. All right, so our first sentence, as ever. Harry awoke at 5:30 the next morning as abruptly and completely as if somebody had yelled in his ear. And then the dragons arrived.
Nice.
So it's like he heard them coming. He was like, who was that? Ah!
It was as if someone had yelled in his ear.
Yeah.
Instead,
it was a dragon. It was a dragon.
It was a dragon. Yeah. That'll wake you up first thing in the morning.
That will, yeah. I mean, whew. But then, like, right away, the very next sentence sets this tone for the entire chapter. It says, for a few moments he lay immobile as the prospect of the hearing filled every tiny particle of his brain. So it's like, if you're ever feeling like overstimulated, like, don't touch me, I need you to turn that music off, I can't hear myself think, Harry wakes up at maximum.
Right.
Already with nothing else happening.
He's already a frayed wire.
He's already a frayed wire, right? He has not slept well. And he gets up. He puts on his clothes, which are jeans and a t-shirt, which I gotta say, not very dressy when you're going to court. Like,
like he's going to travel there in a very Muggle fashion, dressed very Muggle based.
Yeah.
For going to a very magic based.
Yeah,
place.
going to a very magic based place. It feels like he doesn't have his like regular wizard armor on,
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And like even in this way, it's like the Dursleys are also the kind of people who would like put stock into like this form of government in a way that like Harry will even be like, of course of course Vernon is going to think like, well, the government will solve it, and it's just not quite there.
Not quite there.
Yeah.
Though I love the description of Ron, which is he was laying sprawled on his back with his mouth wide open.
Right.
He's just like, not a concern in the world.
That's exactly it. I even wrote a note on that because I was like, I feel like Ron is demonstrating like the like marked difference between the positions that he and Harry are in at this moment. Like even later, like Ron is going to be presented with like the prefect badge because Dumbledore doesn't want to burden Harry with yet another thing.
Right.
And so it's like Ron sitting there like mouth open, snoring,
right. Whatever.
Living his best. And he's gonna get awarded. Meanwhile, Harry's kind of getting like, looked over for that. And he's up at 5:30.
Up at 5:30 again.
Dragons everywhere.
Right.
Ron has no idea.
No way to be waking up. So he makes his way down the stairs past the heads of house elves. So not a great way to start the day.
Oh wait, I think we can do that better.
Oh.
Making his way downstairs.
Oh yeah, you're right. Then he goes into the kitchen where he expects it to be empty. And I think that's interesting because I think this is supposed to make you feel like Harry felt like he was going to be all alone. But of course, people were waiting there for him. But I think the real truth of this sentence is that it's like he expected it to be empty, like maybe a moment to collect himself, but it wasn't.
But it wasn't.
But it wasn't.
And instead, there's going to be a bunch of people there, all of whom are going to have some measure of advice, something to tell him, all of whom don't have any ability to control Harry's outcome either. So it's like, as much as you're going to say, it's like, I just need to go and do the thing.
Yeah. And it's like, even like it says the moment he walked in, she leapt to her feet the moment he entered. So Harry walks in and boom, someone's like up in his face. Like, oh my God, what do you need? Breakfast? Here's a million options. Let me give you a choice. Like, let me make you start making decisions right now. And Harry is going to be like nodding and shaking his head through this entire conversation.
Yes.
Like he's already not getting a break or able to escape his anxiety.
Right. And then you've got Tonks who's there, who's just got off the night shift. And she's like, morning, Harry.
Oh, in her blonde and curly hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. Blonde and short, as if. I'm just kidding.
I was thinking of my wife's hair, you know.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But yeah, so she says, I've been up all night. And it says, come and sit down. And it says she drew out a chair, knocking over the one beside it in the process. And again, probably to your point, it's like, this is like Mrs. Weasley, like immediately in his face, and then Tonks immediately knocking
stuff down
over.
Yeah.
But I would be remiss if I didn't bring up a detail that I feel like we've been chewing on a little bit as it pertains to Tonks and her clumsiness, because we've kind of been on a rant lately about how Tonks has this remarkably cool ability that just goes completely just like underutilized, right? Like we never get to see her pull off the Metamorph Magi like skill in a way that's like, oh, no.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it's just sort of like she has the ability, but it never really comes into play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like even later in this exact book, like Harry is going to be having a meeting at the Hogshead, and Mundungus Fletcher is going to overhear the conversation because he was like dressed as a pile of rags or whatever.
Yes,
it's like,
exactly.
God, if only the Order had someone who like
could change their appearance at will.
who could like, yeah, was really good at disguising themselves.
Right.
But no, don't worry about it. Yeah.
But then, of course, the other notable characteristic of Tonks is that she is also remarkably clumsy. And I was like, why include that detail? Like, she's already got a characteristic to her name. And so we've been hemming and hawing on this a little bit. The conclusion we've come up with, the headcanon, if you will, is that by being a Metamorph Magi, she's constantly changing her like physical shape just enough that it keeps throwing off her like center of balance. And so the idea there is that like even just by changing like your hair, like if you like, you know, our hair grows so slowly that you don't think of how that could like throw you off. But if you just did it all at once, it might. It might. You know, like it might feel different. It might feel weird. So anyway, that's my new headcanon for why Tonks is clumsy.
Yeah, because she's constantly changing just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just
yeah.
Little bit,
the mystery people have been dying to have finally answered.
Yeah, why is she so clumsy? In any case, then Mrs. Weasley's doing the thing. She's like porridge, muffins, kippers, bacon, eggs, toast, which is like, I feel like this is like sometimes like, you know, my wife or like will be like, you know, I'll be like trying to help her. I'm like, oh, we can go anywhere you want. You go here. And she's like, what I really want is just you make a decision.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, don't make me make more decisions. I'm tired. Yeah.
Choices aren't always a luxury.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So this even just thinking like what do I want for breakfast? I think is like poking at Harry, and of course Harry chooses toast.
Toast.
Yeah.
Just toast.
Just toast. And I think she puts marmalade in front of him. I don't think he uses it.
Yeah, I don't think he does either.
Yeah, in front of him. He tried to eat, but it was like chewing carpet.
So
yeah.
It definitely. I mean, if there was marmalade on there, it wouldn't taste.
It wouldn't taste like that. It'd be like, it wouldn't be carpet. Yeah.
What would it be though?
Wet carpet. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Wet carpet. Guys,
yeah.
We have really put on our literary hats tonight.
I know.
I think we're doing great work. Yeah.
But then even as he's chewing on the carpet, Mrs. Weasley gets even closer up in his grill. And it says, sat down on the other side, started fussing with his t-shirt, tucking in his label and smoothing out creases. His freshly laundered creases on his t-shirt, by the way. Yeah.
It's his best t-shirt.
It's his best t-shirt. It even says he wished she wouldn't.
Yes. You're right. Yes. It's like there's so much of this is happening. It's like it reminds me of like an episode of The Bear. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. I literally
wrote down on one of the pages, this whole chapter is like an episode of The Bear.
Yes. It's very like the camera's like 3 inches from the face.
Yeah, it's like right here the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah. Then I'm just going to point this out. Tonks speaks up again, says, I'll have to tell Dumbledore I can't do duty tomorrow night. I'm just too tired. And I'm like, Dumbledore, this is terrible scheduling. You're making Tonks stay up all night, 2 nights in a row? Come on, man. What are you doing?
Just plumb exhausted. You gotta have a better scheduling.
Gotta have a better
system.
scheduling system. I know.
Dumbledore's like a really, really good wizard and kind of like an only okay like middle manager.
Right, yeah. He's got good picture ideas, bad middle management.
Right,
yeah.
right, yes.
Yeah, not good at scheduling these sort of things.
No.
Yeah, fortunately, Mr. Weasley's like, don't worry, I could stay up all night. I've got a report to finish. So this sounds like really intensive guard duty. I'll just be working on the paper.
It's basically study hall.
Yeah,
is what
basically
it
is what it is.
I have actual like that's even like one of those weird ones too, where I think for the longest time I interpreted it as if like by going and being on duty, you would always do a report or something. Like it was relating to the guard duty, and I think this is just him being like, I have work to do, so I can stay up all night. No problem.
Don't worry about it. I'll just do it there. Then I love Mr. Weasley's outfit. It says he has an old bomber jacket, which I'm just like, oh, that's cool. I like to think he's wearing some aviators too.
Yes.
Rolling in. Hey, what's up?
Right.
Hey, guys.
Arthur's like really starting to like nail the Muggle look. Like,
like Arthur, you were supposed to look inconspicuous, not awesome. Yeah.
Everybody's paying attention to you.
Yeah, jeez.
Nobody knew that what we needed was hot Arthur.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Air Force Arthur. That's what they
Air
called
Force
him. Yeah.
Arthur. Put him in the next Top Gun movie.
Exactly. Yeah. Where's Mr. Weasley in there?
He comes in. Oh my gosh, can you imagine all the fighter jets? And he comes in on the Flying Fort Anglia.
Yeah. Someone has got to make that edit. It's like Top Gun, but the Flying Fort Anglia is part of the fight. Oh my gosh, that'd be so funny. But he starts telling him how the hearing is supposed to go, which instead of being in a courtroom is basically supposed to be like, yeah, we're just going to go to one person's office. She'll ask you a few questions. Clearly, we'll get it sorted out in like 3 minutes. It's going to be fine.
This is the other thing too, though, is that like the specifically where we're supposed to go is it says the hearing's on my floor in Amelia Bones' office. She's head of the Department of Magical Law Enforcement, and she'll be the one questioning you. And it's like, and then Tonks will follow it up by saying, Amelia Bones is okay, Harry. She's fair. She'll hear you out. And it's like, this is sort of like an odd piece of information that I'm surprised no one has brought up with Harry before now.
I know.
Because if you dig a little further, what you know is that Amelia's own brother, Edgar Bones, was a member of the First Order of the Phoenix. So like this is somebody who is like very clearly positioned as an ally. Like I think that this is someone who is like going to help, right?
I think, yeah.
Like
I mean,
if not, like even if they don't know for insider reasons, they seem to think highly of her.
Right.
So for the most part, it seems like everybody should have been like, it's a formality. Like Amelia's going to get you out of there. Like she's not going to be bothered by this.
I know. Like someone in the order needs to have been like, I really wouldn't worry about it. Like here's the situation. Here's what you did. It's fine.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yes. But
anyway. Then everyone has to continue peppering him with advice all at once. It's like Amelia Bones is okay. Sirius says, don't lose your temper, which I find to be ironic. Lupin's like, the law's on your side, Harry. And then I think this is a really on purpose sort of sentence too. It says something very cold trickled down the back of Harry's neck. For a moment, he thought someone was putting a disillusionment charm on him. And this is, I think, so important because Harry is about to become incredibly disillusioned by the Ministry itself. Because, like, to be disillusioned is to be like, disappointed or frustrated that something isn't as good or as exciting as you once believed. And Harry is about to be super disillusioned by the Ministry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's almost like a line that doesn't seem like it needs to be in there because it doesn't feel like a real thing that you'd be like, what is this going on in my head right now? Am I being disillusioned?
Right.
It's like, oh no, it's a wet comb. I see. I see. I misunderstood the situation. But no, I completely agree with you. I definitely think that that's there for like symbolic purposes.
Absolutely.
But then we also get like the doesn't it ever lie flat? And Harry just shakes his head. But it's obviously just kind of fun because you know that Harry's actual fortune came from the fact that his ancestors invented the Sleek Easy's hair potion.
Yeah. So it's clearly been a problem in his family forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then, of course, they say we're a bit early, but I think we'd be better off here than hanging around. That's true. Ends up being extremely true. It's a good thing they leave early because they're going to try and sweep this appointment out from under them once they get there. And then Sirius just throws in, everything's going to be fine. If it's not, I'll see to Amelia Bones for you. Oh.
I literally was like, what would this look like?
What would you do?
Like, are you gonna go beat her up or like stuff her in a locker? Like,
yeah, he's just gonna send her some mail, you know?
Yeah,
some blackmail.
So,
right?
That was good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's too bad he doesn't get a shot at Umbridge, though. That'd have been a fun fight.
That would have been fun.
Great.
Yeah.
Let's see. So then we get to the next page here. They step outside. It says Mr. Weasley unbolted the door. They stepped out of the cold gray dawn. So you're going to get tons of descriptions like this where from like Harry's point of view, everything is terrible. It's cold. It's gray. Blah. Also, it says they unbolted the door. And I'm like, no one can get in this house unless Dumbledore specifically told them. There is no reason to lock the door. Even if the order members are like, it was so dumb to tell me where we were. I am so a spy. It doesn't matter. Like Snape could be at the Death Eater office and be like, it's Grimmauld Place. It's right there. Number 12. Boom. Doesn't matter. Unless Dumbledore tells them, they can't come in.
The lock is the Fidelius charm.
Yeah. The lock is the Fidelius charm.
Like,
you guys are wasting time here. The amount wizards forget what magic does is unbelievable.
But not to worry, we don't forget.
We don't forget.
Yeah.
Well,
actually, if it's Jay versus Ben, I usually do frequently forget.
It was just tied, you know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, we're doing good. But yeah, so then we also get like Harry's like asking the question. It's like, you don't normally walk, do you? And he's like, no, I usually apparate, but obviously you can't. And I think it's best we arrive in a thoroughly non-magical fashion.
Yeah.
Because the Ministry loves non-magic stuff.
Well,
so
but it's a very not. And they are not very magical. They're not mad. Like they use magic, but it's not like a magical place.
It's not a magical place.
Yeah.
Not like Hogwarts.
Not like Hogwarts.
Now that place is magical.
That place is magical.
Yeah.
Lots of ancient magic and stuff there.
That's right.
But then just like the descriptions everywhere. You get the rundown streets were almost deserted. They arrived at a miserable underground station already full of morning commuters because muggles are up early. They got stuff to do. They're not like wizards, okay? They're getting stuff done, right?
That's right.
We got things. Then we get then Mr. Weasley is, of course, so fascinated by the ticketing systems at the subway. Simply fabulous. Wonderfully ingenious. And Harry's like, they're out of order.
Yes, but even so.
Even so, just so that you would exist, I'm coming back here later after my report.
But isn't this just always the case, though? You're like having like the worst day ever, and then like something that you rely on all the time like fails on you. And it's just like, no, not today.
Yeah, come on.
Today. Yeah. So continuing Harry just sort of like interacting with everything that's broken.
Yeah. So then they have to work. They buy their tickets from a sleepy looking guard. They get on the train. Mr. Weasley is now anxiously checking and rechecking the underground map above the windows. 4 stops, Harry. 3 stops, 2 stops. Which, to be fair, this is exactly how I am on trains.
Oh, same. Yeah,
I'm like, where are we? Where are we going? Metro station 4. Okay, that's how many stops from now? 3. Okay, cool. How many stops was that? 3, 2. So we got 2, 1.
2, 1. How does this work? It's like day math.
No, I know.
Is it 1 when we get there or 0 when we get
there? It's 2 days from now. So it's like, so it's Wednesday, but it's 2 days from now. Do you mean Friday or do you mean tomorrow? Because today's one day and that's.
Do we count today?
I'm
confused.
Today? Yeah. Right now you're going to argue about that. You meant Friday.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So they get off the station. Let's see. What do we got here? Then even when he gets out, it's like the buildings are imposing looking. Everything's full of traffic. It's like they're not like everything is just like crowding around Harry on all sides.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And it even says that Harry thought that they'd gotten off at the wrong station, which of course is also just something that's going to put a total pit in your stomach.
Yeah.
But of course Arthur is like, yes, this way, Harry. And he's
I've never come this way before.
Yeah. This is new for me.
Yeah.
Part of me is thinking that like it says that he was like anxious on the train, but part of me is like Arthur is living his best.
Yeah, he's like this is the best day ever. I volunteered for this.
Yeah, like they walked outside and he's like, I'm taking the train today.
Woo! Kind of feels like you should have practiced it. I'm sure that's what Harry's thinking. It's like today's your first time. Okay, it's cool.
Why today?
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
But it doesn't get any better. They leave like the busy, imposing buildings, but then they go to like just the decrepit street, a shabby looking offices, overflowing dumpster. And it even says, Harry expected a rather more impressive location for the Ministry of Magic. Disillusioned.
Yeah. That's right. Yes. Yeah. He is no longer impressed with this
He is not
place.
impressed. Instead, they get into an old red telephone box, missing several panes of glass, heavily graffitied. After you, Harry.
It's like, are you sure?
You sure we're getting in this one?
Yeah. So, so Harry then is like, Mr. Weasley, I think this one might be out of order too. And Harry and Arthur is like, no, I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
And then he punches in the code, and this is just like one of the fun little Easter eggs inside of the story. But it's 62442, which of course spells
magic. Yeah, if you had an old phone. Yeah.
So, I like to think that everybody that just responded was like, of course I know that one. And then everyone else is like, does it really?
What? We just Mr. Weasley'd you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, as he's getting in there, it will say that he is jammed inside the telephone apparatus, and that later on they're going to enter the same way, and there's going to be 6 people in the telephone box. So if you think it's tight now, only getting worse.
Right.
But then they go down. They are like going down what sounds like a very long, like coal miner's elevator almost.
Right.
Through the underground. It's like complete darkness for over a minute in a tight box with Mr. Weasley. It's like Harry is like, this is the worst day of my life. This is, I can't, like it's just like that feeling of like, just please give me some space anywhere.
Yes.
But not going to happen. They get out and it's as though... even when the voice talks to him, it's not like it's coming from the receiver. It's as if yet another person, an invisible woman, were standing right beside them. And this is just like the recording. Welcome to the Ministry of Magic. Yeah.
Please state your name.
Please state your name.
And then I love the fact though that later on in the story we find out that you can pretty much say whatever.
Yeah, you can pretty much say whatever.
It's not fussed that you confirm plans that the Ministry is expecting. Like you could say anything, and they're like, rescue mission. Got it. Yeah. Instead, instead though, what Mr. Weasley tells him is that he's there to escort Harry Potter to a disciplinary hearing. So now Harry has to wear a badge of his bad news around on the front of him. I'm surprised.
Disciplinary hearing.
I'm surprised.
Harry Potter.
Yeah. I'm surprised it's not Scarlet.
I know. Yeah. I'm surprised it's not glowing.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And then it says, I think this is also very carefully phrased. It says, visitor to the ministry, you are required to submit to a search and present your wand for registration at the security desk. Which I just think the fact that though just the phrase required to submit when you're entering the ministry is no accident.
No, I totally agree. And it's like you can only imagine, and like I feel like in book 7 when Harry ultimately like has his wand broken, in the attack at Godric's Hollow, it's like he's like losing such a piece of himself. It's the same as like losing like Hedwig, it's like these like reliable aspects of his life and his relationship with the wizarding world, the things that brings him confidence. So it's like he's walking into a place. He's had this uncomfortable journey. He's had this uncomfortable stay at number 12 Grimmauld Place. Like everything has just been miserable all the way up until now. And now they're like, give me your wand, please. And it's like, no. Like, I don't wanna. Yeah. I don't want to do that at all. Right.
Then they get off the lift. It says, the Ministry of Magic wishes you a pleasant day, which they do not. It's like the well-wishing is just as artificial as like the facade of the statues. Like that part is pre-recorded. That's not someone really saying it. It's fake. It's all fake.
Do you think there's anybody in the room right now and they're like, man, I really liked the Ministry, and now
I don't think anyone likes the Ministry.
you pointed out everything that's not good about it.
Well, that's what I'm here to do, Ben. I guess that's you guys came to a real fun chapter. Yeah, here we go. Although I do have a fun little theory on the next page.
Okay.
We'll run it past you here. Okay, so then they get in there. You get the amazing entrance hall, which if you go to Universal, like Epic Universe, they nail this. It is so cool.
It is really amazing.
Yeah, it is awesome. Like, go do it. Really fun. You get to go in through the flue powder and everything. But anyway, they get in there, and this is when Harry is first going to see the statue, the group of golden statues. Okay, this is the description. A group of golden statues, larger than life size, stood in the middle of a circular pool. Tallest of them was a noble-looking wizard. Okay, boom,
okay.
Noble.
Noble.
They're gold statues. Ready? Okay. The very chapter before this, Ben, is called what is it?
The noble and
most ancient House of Black. Oh my God, what do you know about that? Okay, cool. Then if you flip, Ben, inside of that chapter. This is at the very bottom of 116 going into 117. We get this exchange. Boom. Order of Merlin First Class. That had been awarded to Sirius's grandfather for services to the ministry. That means he gave them a lot of gold, said Sirius contemptuously.
A lot of gold.
A lot of gold. Noble looking wizard from
How-
the noble house of black.
How about that?
How about that? And look, and it's lifting up the wrong ideals that wizards are better than all these other people, right? And then boom,
Dang.
oh, it gets better. Hold on.
Oh,
yeah,
oh.
we got more. We got more. We got to flip way ahead in the book here.
Okay, give me a
Up
page
to
number.
page 810. Yeah, look, I highlighted it. Don't worry.
good,
I got
yeah.
it for you. Okay, so the question is, did Sirius's grandfather donate the gold, literally the gold the statues are made out of, right, to have the statues? And that's what he got his Sirius. That's why he got the
Order of
award.
Merlin.
Order
first
of
class.
Merlin. Because then, listen to this. This is after Harry has fled the death chamber. It says, and he's like chasing Bellatrix. He hits her with the Cruciatus Curse, and then she fires back. Harry dodged behind the golden fountain again. Her counterspell hit the head of the handsome wizard, which was blown off and landed 20 feet away, gouging long scratches in the wooden floor. Okay, so Bellatrix is the one who beheads the wizard at the end, right?
Yep.
Bellatrix, who just pages before has killed Sirius Black and the end of the Black family tree.
Oh.
Right? So their long-lasting golden legacy is destroyed by Bellatrix, not only in Sirius himself, but the statue as well.
Whoa.
Boom. Right? That's pretty good. I think he donated that gold.
I love it.
Right? That's pretty good. I was like, yeah, noble.
Man, I mean, you had me before that last piece.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, that's that. Okay, yeah. Awesome. Amazing.
Okay, thank
Well
you.
done.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with that. I was like, no way. Is this possible? Yeah.
I think so.
I think so. I think that's pretty good. It all just seems like it adds up. But there we go. That's my fun theory for this particular page.
I love it. I love it. Okay, yeah. So then we get the description of everybody else. Obviously, we mentioned this a little bit with the chapter art, but grouped around him were a beautiful witch, a centaur, a goblin, and a house elf. The last three were all looking adoringly up at the witch and wizard. Glittering jets of water were flying from the ends of the two wands, the point of the centaur's arrow, the tip of the goblin's hat, and each of the house elf's ears, so that the tinkling hiss of falling water was added to the pops and cracks of apparatus and the clatter of footsteps as hundreds of witches and wizards, most of whom were wearing glum early morning looks, strode towards a set of golden gates at the far end of the hall. So it's this is where I feel like the wordplay is probably the wrong description, but like I feel like you like you're being misled ever so slightly there. Like this feels like the instance compared to like the glum, the gloomy, the like the old, the broken,
Right.
the like whatever. It's like the glittering jets of water, like the tinkling sound. Like that sounds kind of delightful.
Yeah,
like
it sounds really good.
Right.
But then you find out who's walking in it. Like
Right,
in the
yes,
next,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Like, it
then
looks big and impressive.
right. So the statues all look beautiful and wonderful, and like they sound delightful.
Right.
But then everybody walking in is glum and
The
and sad.
throngs wending their way between the ministry workers, some of them carrying tottering piles of parchment, battered briefcases, reading the Daily Prophet. Yeah. So they're all just sort of like mulling about inside, not like super happy bunch. Then I think this is worth noting too, and I think also helps my little gold theory, is that as Harry goes by, it says he saw silver sickles and bronze canuts glinting up at him from the bottom. So no gold galleons are in the fountain at all.
Right.
Right? But
This
who's
is
going to
true.
put in the gold? Who's going to give them a lot of gold?
Harry.
Harry, that's right. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
look at that. How about that?
Harry's all about that gold, man. All about that gold.
It's true, but I think that there's a lot going on here because like we obviously I feel like we're hitting the same point over and over again, but I think it's because it's so prominent. Like really, what you've got going on here is a group of employees who are just not happy to be there, and it's like if the idea behind this statue is to raise money for something like a hospital, it's like surely you'd have the occasional person throwing in galleons, but like they're not, and I think that like a huge reason why they're probably not is because they just can't afford to.
Right.
It's like the system. It's odd because it's so contrasted by the fact that Voldemort is coming in and trying to like replace it with this like massive dark, like dictator regime. But it's like things aren't really great either. Like it's a sitting duck. It's waiting to be taken.
It's the
over.
lesser of two evils at the moment.
Right.
I also can't believe the absolute detail we're going to get into about every single thing the ministry governs, and not one of them is the hospital. Like,
So
instead, that's running on donations.
That's running on. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So maybe that's the thing. So all proceeds from the Fountain of Magical Brethren will be given to the St. Mungo's Hospital for magical maladies and injuries, which I'm pretty sure is like in like an old strip mall or something.
Right,
Isn't
yeah.
it like an old department store? So also not exactly the most,
disillusioned.
luxe looking place ever. Yeah.
Nope.
You're right.
Yeah.
So are we funding St. Mungo's exclusively with the charity from the employees who work at the ministry?
Probably not. Probably more than that.
Hopefully it's more than that.
But certainly the ministry is not like using their tax dollars on it or something. I don't know.
You know what? We know that Lucius donates because I'm pretty sure that that's
I think
how
you're
he
right.
gets
Yeah.
the tickets to the top box of the Quidditch World Cup.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Okay. That's
Anyway.
we found the money trail.
There we go. Lucius
Of course.
Hospital. The Malfoy Hospital of.
Right.
Can you imagine? Okay, so Harry says, if I'm not expelled from Hogwarts, I'll put in 10 galleons. This is a really cool little sentence from Harry because he doesn't say it out loud. He just says it to himself. So he's not like bound to this promise in any way. But of course, we know that he's not going to get expelled from Hogwarts. And he is going to make sure he delivers on this tiny promise to himself by instead upending his entire bag of money into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I think as like a I don't know, maybe I don't know if I'd be quite a penny pincher, but part of me is always like, all of it?
Harry is generous and selfless, Ben.
Yeah, you're right. This is true. This is why we can't be imperious.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Good strength of character.
Yeah, although he might run into an imperious person here soon, I guess.
Ooh, okay.
Right, maybe.
All right.
Soon to be anyway. In any case, then he goes up to they have to go get the wand registered. They go up to a badly shaven wizard because, again, wizards forget they can do magic. What do you mean a badly shaven wizard?
Right.
I think Harry gets a gift from someone once that is a razor that does this exact thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
He never uses it. But in any case, this guy's not doing it. It's possible this guy has been up all night, and that's why he's badly shaven.
I
Because he
suppose
has
that
the
could be
night
it.
guard
Right,
or whatever.
right. Yeah. So Arthur walks up and says, I'm escorting a visitor. Said Mr. Weasley, gesturing towards Harry. Step over here, said the wizard in a bored voice. Harry walked closer to him, and the wizard held up a long golden rod, thin and flexible as a car aerial, which is like a car.
Right?
Like a car antenna.
A car antenna, yeah.
Do you think that's like what he did?
Yeah. I think he was like, all right, come here.
This doesn't do anything. It just sounds cool.
Yeah, right. Doesn't do anything. It just is a car antenna. Mr. Weasley's like, can I have that?
And he's like, wand. Harry produced his wand. The wizard dropped it onto a strange brass instrument, which looked something like a set of scales with only one dish. It began to vibrate. A narrow strip of parchment came speeding out of the slit at the base. The wizard tore this off and read the writing upon it. And of course, then we get 11 inches, Phoenix Feather Core, been in use for 4 years. Now, this is also something I think is interesting because in Goblet of Fire, we have a chapter called The Weighing of the Wands.
Yeah.
And it's not done by this device. It's done by a human person.
Yeah.
And
Examining
it's like, examining it. Yeah. So Ollivander obviously is able to handle it and manage it in the exact same way. But like all of this feels so like counter to the they're all people that work here are bored. You know, it's like why isn't this person tasked with this job working an apprenticeship with Ollivander learning a skill to administer it?
Also, this is the worst registration machine ever. Like, what is the point of this? It says 11 inches Phoenix Feather Core. Like, they don't even assign a name to it, nor do they get the wood.
That's true.
It's just like, this is an 11-inch piece of wood. There you go. It's got a bird thing in it.
A bird thing.
A bird thing.
I like it. By the way, it's Hollywood.
You guys like birds? Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
This one.
That one. Gumpine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it doesn't give him the wood. They don't assign a name to it. And Harry's like, yep, that's mine. And he's like, cool, you can take this back. I'll keep this. And then he immediately like puts it on one of those like receipt holder things, punches a hole through it. I don't know what they're going to do with that later.
Yeah. He goes, I keep this. And I wrote a little squiggle and said, why?
Why? I know. Like, who was this one for? We got two 11-inch Phoenix cores. Is this the same guy or?
Yeah.
If only we required the wood or their name. I don't understand the stop at all.
Or if only there was a branch of magic that uniquely permitted the person to be able to remember every wand they ever sold.
Yeah, right.
You know?
But he can identify the ones he didn't sell.
Also true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, what is fun though is that we do get to learn this guy's name. It says Mr. Weasley says, "Thank you, Eric," which I know you're like, "Whoa, that is fun, Jay. Thank you for pointing that out."
Eric,
Who was the guard?
What a distinctly magical name.
What a distinctly magical name. You
No
know
offense
what,
to
Ben?
Eric.
You know what, Ben? We know his full name. This is Eric Munch.
Munch.
Eric Munch, yeah. Because actually, if you flip over to page 287, Eric Munch is going to arrest Sturgis Podmore later on.
Page 287.
Yeah.
Arrest Sturgis Podmore.
Boom.
I wrote the same
You wrote
thing.
the exact same thing down.
Literally.
Yeah. That's so funny.
But
Yeah.
you're absolutely correct. Yeah. So this is basically the security guard for the thing. And so when Sturgis is trying to break in, he is going to be the one to catch him. in the
Yeah.
process.
So, like, I guess when the order has to sneak past Eric every night
Right.
to make sure they can go guard something else.
Right.
Yeah.
Even that's pretty funny because Arthur knowing his name it could potentially be because he's been given the instruction.
Oh, I know. Why would Arthur know this guy?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, right? How often is he getting his wand registered?
Because he's constantly sneaking past him.
Thinking past him, he's like, yeah, watch out for Eric.
Watch out for him.
You know,
It
if you,
feels
get to be like around like 8 a.m, he's pretty much no good anymore.
Right.
You can tell by the amount of facial hair he's got going.
That's it.
Yeah.
So it feels like for the Order of the Phoenix video game, this would be like one of those things where it's just like a really easy challenge where it's like you're trying to like avoid Eric's gaze. And
Yeah,
it's sort of
he's
like
just
it's just not hard.
Yeah. That's exactly what it would be like. But they leave there. They get right back into all the overstimulation. Harry is immediately jostled by the crowd here. And then they get into the elevator where a big bearded wizard holding a large cardboard box stood nearby. This is another guy, Bob. That Mr. Weasley knows, and he's asking them all about what's in this box. And I had a fun little rabbit hole or chicken hole going through what this thing is, because what he says, we thought it was a bog standard chicken. You guys know about bog standard chickens.
Yeah, well, naturally.
You know how every time you're at a bog, you're like, well, there's a standard chicken.
Sure.
Got it. Until it started breathing fire. Looks like a serious breach of the ban on experimental breeding to me. That's about all we get in the books about whatever is in this cardboard box. But this chicken in this box has been taken and run with by every Harry Potter side project.
Yes.
Yes, ever.
Like if you played Wizards Unite, they were like, you want to know the thing that people were asking for even more?
What was on that box?
The fire-breathing chicken.
Fire-breathing chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in there. If you play Hogwarts Legacy, you can run into a guy and he's like, this is like in 1890, and he's like, hey, I heard a rumor that someone is breeding Welsh greens with chickens, and they're having fire-breathing chickens. This is what came of it. The Dickon. That's what the Dricken. I'm sorry. That is what this is called. Is a Dricken.
A Dricken.
A Dricken. A dragon chicken. I'm not kidding.
That's not great.
It's not a good name. The Dricken is what this is called. Also, if you watch the movie, they leave out so much stuff, but they include this guy.
Dude, I know.
They include the Dricken. He's there.
They were like, the scene we must get right.
We've got this Bob and his Dricken are like, I don't know why everyone has taken it and run with it, but it is out there.
They really thought this was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we know the ancestry of this bird. We know that it has been in 2 video games and a movie.
Yeah.
There you go. Way to go, Bob.
Also, I mean, I don't mean to spend too much time on the Dricken, but you're keeping a fire-breathing chicken in a cardboard box.
Cardboard box. I know. I wrote that down. I said cardboard for fire-breathing animal, and then I also said cardboard doesn't feel magical to me. I don't even think wizards use cardboard. What is going on?
Yeah,
that's a very Muggle thing.
They wrap things in brown paper.
Exactly.
So the chicken should have been wrapped in brown paper.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because that would be better.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Anyway, despite the guy being there being a fire-breathing chicken in the Dricken, sorry.
Wow, good save.
In the elevator, Harry and Mr. Weasley get on anyway. Harry finds himself for the second time in about 3 minutes jammed against the back wall of a lift with Mr. Weasley.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where several witches and wizards were looking at him curiously. He stared at his feet to avoid catching anyone's eyes, flattening his fringe as he did so. So he's just literally being like, don't be Harry Potter, don't be Harry Potter.
Don't be Harry Potter. God, just it'd be great if you weren't wearing a badge with your name on it that said you were in trouble.
Yeah.
And then, despite all of the magic, the elevators seem like they are about like one broken piece of yarn from collapsing. It says the grills slid shut with a crash as the lift ascended slowly, chains rattling. Why is it slowly? Like why is anything not just like float? You know?
Yeah, it's
everything
like,
should be smooth as ever.
Right. Yeah. Why are there chains at all?
I know chains rattling. I feel like it's supposed to make you be like prisoner.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, that's what it's supposed to make you feel like.
Right.
That's how Harry's feeling right now. But then we start getting the incredibly long list of different levels on here. And so also, if you're trying to imagine the way the ministry works, they were up here on the street next to the dumpster in the broken phone booth. They take the minute-long
lift ride
down, the coal mine ride down here. They get out, and then they get on the elevator and start going back up to here. To level 2, where they have to find out, oh crap, and then you go back down to the main level, and then they come back down even further to where the courtrooms are. So that's the weird build of the ministry.
Right.
Way down or right back up.
It's a very U-shaped structure.
Yeah. What's going on? I was also, when we get to where Mr. Weasley's office is, I'm like, this is just a weird shaped floor. Anyway.
But we start with level 7, Department of Magical Games and Sports, incorporating the British and Irish Quidditch League headquarters, official Gobstones Club, and ludicrous patents office.
Luda. Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
I didn't think, how else you think he's spitting such rhymes, man? He's a wizard.
He's a wizard.
Yeah.
I did look up.
It just means games.
It does mean games.
Yeah, I looked it up too.
It's okay. I was like, surely you did. It's just Latin for sportive, relating to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not just like ridiculous things, patents.
Right. Yeah. It's like one of these things is not like the rest now. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. But they get back on the lift. It juddered upward again. Okay. Then they get to level 6, Department of Magical Transport, incorporating the Flu Network Authority, Broom Regulatory Control, Portkey Office, and Apparition Test Center. So I guess it's where Fred and George got tested.
I think this is like the DMV.
Yeah, it's like the DMV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to add to the mystique of the place that we're hanging out in.
I know, right? Yeah. Harry's like, oh, they have this place too. Cool.
Great.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Good. I love going here with Uncle Vernon.
Right.
Yeah. And then the interdepartment memos start flying in, which I think for magic people, their mail has to take the elevator,
It's true. The kind of crappy elevator.
Yeah, they're kind of not so good at an elevator.
Right.
Like, even if you go to like a Muggle bank, they get those amazing vacuum tubes, like, vroom,
yes!
right? Where are these?
Like, Muggles have invented their own magic messenger service.
First of all, no one knows how those work at all.
No one.
Those are magic, as
I
far
love
as I
them.
can tell. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm always like, if the thing is like this, right? I know it's a vacuum, but right. But like you're here and it goes. Okay, it's like rectangle shaped. It's a cylinder, right? But that's like just like a circular rectangle, right?
A cylinder?
Cylinder, yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you look at a cylinder from the side, a rectangle.
Yeah, it's like a rectangle. Okay, I follow.
You're here, they're over here. So somewhere it goes. Voo, voo, voo. It's like I'm like,
how does it take
corners?
the turn?
How's it taking the corners?
Yeah,
I know.
Here we
Magic.
are. Here we are going. Nobody knows how it works. Bryce is like, vacuums.
Vacuums. That's not it, Bryce. We know then. Okay. No, it's definitely vacuums. How it's getting through the corners, though?
No idea.
Curves.
Yeah.
No, they're right angles. We all know it. Yeah.
They hide the curves, like up there in like the concrete, so that you can't see it.
Yeah.
You can see them. Oh,
at Home Depot. Oh, boy, you guys are using Home Depot way different than me. I didn't know you could bank there.
Gonna open an account tomorrow.
There you go. Yeah.
But I also think this is funny because Harry's looking at these things and he's like, what's up with that? And Arthur's like, just interdepartmental memos. We used to use owls, but the mess was unbelievable. And I'm like, okay, the ministry is hundreds of years old and Arthur remembers them using owls.
I know. They were using owls for a long time.
No wonder this is such a crappy place. It's a poop joke.
It was. Yeah. Excellent. Then we get to, let's see, level 4, the Department for Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures, incorporating Beast, Being, and Spirit divisions, Goblin Liaison Office, and Pest Advisory Bureau. Now, call me crazy. I bet the goblins hate that they are on the floor for the Department for the Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
It is so, like, it feels very inappropriate.
I mean, I don't even know like what I don't even.
Right.
It would be like going to the vet for your doctor, to get like your annual
It's exactly
physical.
what it is. Yeah.
It's like you have grouped the wrong things.
They have a fountain right down there, and they're like, these are the magical brethren. Also, are you a goblin? You're going to be on the beast floor.
Yeah.
Right there.
You're cool with that, right?
You're cool with that, right?
This will go over well.
No, probably not.
Then we get to level 3, Department of Magical Accidents and Catastrophes, including the Accidental Magic Reversal Squad, Obliviator Headquarters, and Muggle-Worthy Excuse Committee.
The Muggle-Worthy Excuse Committee. I feel offended. I looked this up. Apparently, the Muggle-Worthy Excuse Committee is just like, this is their cover-up section of the government, where they're like, we have to come up with something to tell the Muggles that they will believe. That is believable to them.
So so maybe this is the pathway. If you really emphasize like Muggle studies, it's like, oh yeah, I'm going for a career in Muggle-worthy excuse.
Muggle-worthy excuses. That's it. Yep.
Put that on a business card.
Yeah. Whew. Here we go. And then we get finally to where they're headed, to level 2, Department of Magical Law Enforcement, including the improper use of magic office or headquarters and Wismagot Administration Services. So I like that. What's interesting here is that Arthur is on the same floor as the Aurors. Like,
true.
It does make it seem like you think like, oh, maybe Arthur's a little bit more important. But then you're going to walk in here and it's going to be like this big open room where all the Aurors are. And then it's like, then in the back of that room, there's a door and then a hallway and then a hallway and then a dingy hallway and then a broom closet and then Arthur's room with no window. And he's like, we asked about a window and they don't think we need one. And I'm like,
why?
Why? Like, they're not even real windows. My office is on the other side of the floor, the way other side.
Not to mention, I feel like the Auror's office the Auror headquarters sounds an awful lot like a bunch of jocks.
A little bit.
Yeah, it says they turned a corner, walked through a pair of heavy oak doors, and emerged in a cluttered, open area divided into cubicles, which were buzzing with talk and laughter. Memos were zooming in and out of cubicles like miniature rockets. A lopsided sign at the nearest cubicle read, Auror headquarters.
Right.
I was like, these guys are all just sort of like, like at the water cooler, telling stories, fantasy football.
I think this is very on purpose, though, because it's like the ministry, every aspect of it is like boring and droll, and there's, no one's really happy until you get to the part where they're fighting the dark arts. And there's like the thing that actually fights the dark arts is like laughter and happiness and stuff. And the Aurors are the only people who are happy.
And they get it.
Right, yes.
Right.
And it's like, and this, like, Harry's here for like 3 seconds, and yet later this year, he's going to be like, or, yeah, definitely. That's what I want, for sure.
I went through all of the available job options.
Yeah.
And I really, one of them resonated with me. And it's like, do you like fighting crime? It's like, no. It just seems fun.
Yeah. It was like everywhere else was just really boring.
Yeah.
Really boring. I got my wand registered, and they didn't even take my name. And then Mr. Weasley explains that magical maintenance decides on the weather, and he says, we had 2 months of hurricanes last time they're angling for a pay raise. And I'm like, let me tell you what, if I could have hurricane weather with not hurricane damage or ill effects at all, that sounds like a really cool window.
Not so bad.
Right. I'm like, yeah. I would love it if my windows looked like it was pouring rain.
I sleep to rain sound
every
single
night. Yes.
Yeah. So there's something glorious about it.
I know.
Especially if you don't have to actually deal with it.
Yeah. That's probably why it took them 2 months.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like, this is pretty cool.
Well, you know what's also kind of funny is that we know that eventually when they do the heist at the Ministry in Book 7, that Ron will take over Reginald Cattermole, who works in the Magical Maintenance Department.
Yeah.
And the first thing he's asked to do is buy Yaxley, who has like a rainstorm in his office.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, did Reg do that?
Yeah. Starting to storm up here?
Yeah, he's like, because his wife is like being questioned that day.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he's like, I'm gonna go mess with Yaxley a little bit.
You remember what Mr. Weasley spell he suggests to him?
Media Legings for Canto.
That's exactly right. Yeah, you got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Big Wizard Unite spell.
Yeah, it is.
Like the Dricken.
That's how you fight the Drickens.
Yeah. Media Legings for Canto. Everyone's favorite spell from Harry Potter. Yeah. So let's see. Then Kingsley pulls Mr. Weasley aside, and they have like a fake conversation about Sirius and how. But even that, like Harry's got to walk past here. He's like, "Oh, I'm in the Auror office. Everything seems happy." here's my godfather, most wanted wizard in the world, apparently, despite Voldemort being free. He can't escape it at all.
His face is like looking down in every direction. Even the photo of Sirius being the best man at the Potter's wedding. This is like another one of those things where back when Harry was asking about like, what are you guys up to? What are you doing? And it's like, well, Kingsley's really useful because he can sort of like deter everybody from looking for Sirius. And it's like, but what does that have to do with fighting Voldemort?
Right.
Sirius is safe.
Yeah, Sirius is safe and also not doing anything. So it's like, oh yeah, no one's looking for him, so now he can stay here and do nothing.
Right.
Right. There's also like also it's like if Kingsley's in charge of the investigation, I feel like Kingsley could like fabricate some like, guys, you're not going to believe this. He's innocent.
Right.
We can drop it. Welcome back.
Work the case that way.
Yeah.
Try to
solved
prove
it.
Peter was alive.
Kingsley Shacklebolt, solved it.
Right.
Yeah. You should put me as minister. I'll do it.
Yeah. That does happen.
That does happen.
Unfortunately, too late.
A little too late. Yeah. Anyway, so they have a fake argument about the motorcycle, and he hands him a copy of The Quibbler, which is really funny. We find out what it says later on. And then they have a really funny exchange where they're like having a fake argument, but he says, the delay on that Firelegs report held up our investigation for a month. He says, if you'd read my report, you'd know the term is firearms. Firelegs. This is so good.
Then he's like... Then he chimes in. This is another one of those where it's like, I don't know why, but something seems so innately non-magical about it. Because then he's like, he dropped his voice and said, if you can get away before 7, Molly's making meatballs.
I thought it sounded good.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, man.
It's like, I'm not kind of hungry for meatballs.
Yeah, definitely got to get away before 7.
Yeah.
These are late days. He got there before them, and apparently he might be working past 7.
True.
On a fake case of Sirius Black?
These guys...
What is Kingsley doing all day?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either, yeah.
They are so covert, though. Like, I like to think that like they like walk away and like kind of give themselves like a little like finger gun. Like,
yeah. Like the rest of us was like, we can all see you guys. Like,
we know what you're up to.
We know what you're up
organization.
To. Yeah, right. Because, cool. Let's see. So then we get through, we find our way to Mr. Weasley's office, which is at the end of this room, through another set of doors, into another passage, turn left, another corridor, turn right, dimly lit, shabby corridor, finally reached a dead end, which I was trying to map it out on my page here, and I'm like, why would the floor ever be configured like this at all? But you know what it reminded me of, Ben?
What's that?
Every airport flying to Roanoke. Our hometown. If we're ever flying back, it is like you start out, you get in like Terminal A, you're like, oh yeah, this is a cool airport.
Right.
You're like, yeah, nicely done, Atlanta, or whatever. And then you're like, where are we flying out of? Right, E53, cool. Let me take this train way over here. Let me go up here, E53, I doubt that's the first one. No, it's the very end. And by the time you get there, they're not even using like the regular chairs anymore. They've got like folding chairs set up. It's like 53, 51, 50, all in a row.
Right. They've even like abandoned all of like the little like airport shops at that point in time. It's
Yeah.
like there's like a broken vending machine if you
want.
something.
Yeah. So that's basically if you want to go to Roanoke. Yeah. You get shoved down to the end of the airport.
It's a lovely place.
It is. Yeah. But then when you get there, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Weasley's dingy office seemed to be slightly smaller than the broom cupboard. Like, so that means they got to the end of this hallway that they unnecessarily made super long. There were 2 cavities in the wall, as it were. They were like, probably we need a lot of room for the brooms. We'll put 2 human beings in this other one.
You'd think the broom closet would be down there in the sports wing of things, you know?
You would think.
Yeah.
What are they keeping in there? Like real brooms?
Like real brooms for sweeping? They have magic. Wizards. They don't know what they're doing. Anyway, in comes they get in there and Harry has to squeeze himself again. Now he's like he cannot get out of a small room with Mr. Weasley to save his life.
No, he can't.
He's like, let me get in this telephone booth. Let me get in this elevator. Oh my God, your office is as big as the elevator? Like, come on.
Nothing about this day is going well.
Nothing about this day is going well. But then we get introduced to the Quibbler, which is just prepping for Luna in a couple of chapters, which is going to be great. And the article Sirius is going to find amusing is about Stubby Boardman.
Yes, yes, indeed. Yep, that he's the lead singer of... Oh, someone here knows.
The hobgoblins.
hobgoblins.
Exactly. Good one.
See? Now that's why we brought you guys
we were
here.
just testing you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we get, this is a little fun little tiny subplot that's happening in this book where it says, third regurgitating public toilet reported in Bethnal Green. Kindly investigate immediately. So the case of the regurgitating toilets keeps coming up.
It took me a second. Because that's what a regurgitating toilet does.
You will find out later that Willie Wittershin is the one doing this.
Wow.
He is the one who is doing been making the toilets regurgitate. He eventually makes one explode. He gets covered in stuff. And but he doesn't get punished for this crime of doing the toilets because he is also at the Hogshead on the day of the DA meeting.
No
and
way.
He is the one who tells Dolores Umbridge about the meeting of the DA, and that's why the decree gets passed and why he doesn't get punished.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, there you go.
Who knew that this regurgitating toilet was going to be so plot centric?
I know.
These are some very important toilets.
Exactly. So, there you go. Willie Wittershin and his exploding toilets get Harry and the DA busted on day one.
Right.
Yep.
If anybody's keeping track, the term that he's reaching for plumbers, he comes up with as pumbles.
Pumbles.
Just a little
Bless them.
Bless them.
Yeah.
Just
you guys don't have non-creaking elevators, so come back to me. And then Perkins comes in, who, in case you forgot, has lumbago, which is why he doesn't need his tent. But Perkins' tent is the one they're going to use in Deathly Hallows.
It is indeed.
To go camping around in.
Right.
Yep.
He's got lumbago.
Lumbago. Doesn't need the tent anymore.
I wish that they included that detail at this moment. Perkins, who had lumbago.
Who had lumbago, right, yeah. Had a cushion in his seat,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't, anyway.
But yeah, he says, I've sent an owl to your home, which obviously missed it. And it's this is even kind of interesting because owls usually go to the person, not to the place. Or at least Hedwig seems to. You know? So it's you wouldn't normally send, you wouldn't be owl, go to the house.
Right, you just send it to Arthur.
Also, Arthur is not at his home.
Yeah, he's not there.
Yeah.
So why didn't the owl
Right, yes.
whip around? Don't know. But he says he sent it 10 minutes ago, okay, so let's keep on some math here, right? He says he got the message 10 minutes ago, right? And now the court starts at 8 o'clock. So he got the message at 7:55. And they should have been there 5 minutes ago. We find out they should have been there 5 minutes ago, meaning that it's 8:05 now. He received the message 10 minutes ago, which means they gave Harry and Arthur 5 minutes to get there.
From what was supposed to be from their homes.
Yes, where they probably think is the burrow.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not a lot of heads up.
Not a lot of heads up.
No.
Yeah. That's what they thought was a fair amount of time for them to get there.
Right. I mean, and this is sort of just again the bureaucracy just sort of working against Harry in every imaginable way. It's they're really not it's almost as if the trial doesn't matter. It's they're just trying to get him for not showing up.
Yeah, basically.
Yes.
He says, thank goodness we got here so early. If you'd missed it, it would have been catastrophic. It's you've already sort of missed the beginning. But then we find out that they're heading down to the courtrooms, which haven't been used in years, which is kind of surprising. I mean, we know they were using them at least in the Pensive in the last book.
Well, so this is the thing that I thought was particularly interesting about that line is because, ironically, the last time they were used is to prosecute Voldemort's followers, and now they're using it to prosecute the one person who's actively fighting Voldemort.
Yeah, Harry Potter.
Yes.
Yeah, the guy who took him down.
Right.
Yeah.
So they've sort of flipped the script on that one.
How the turns have tabled.
Yes, precisely.
Yeah. Anyway, so they get back in the lifts.
Thank goodness.
Yeah,
I missed
thank goodness.
them.
I know. We're right back in there. And we meet Broderick Bode, who greets them with a sepulchral voice, which was a $10 word I had to look up.
A sepulchral?
Yeah, it says, "Morning, Arthur," he said in a sepulchral voice.
Wow, that is a good one.
Yeah, that means gloomy and dismal, like everything else in this chapter.
Right.
The lift began to ascend. Broderick Bode is introduced right here because he is eventually going to be Imperious, possibly later this day, by Lucius Malfoy, who we are going to see talking to Fudge down in down at the courtrooms afterwards.
Right.
Yeah.
And basically what we've got here with Bode is that he is an unspeakable, which means that he works in the Department of Mysteries. He will ultimately end up at St. Mungo's, where he is going to be killed by his potted plant, a.k.a. a Devil's Snare.
Yeah.
Devils.
Yeah, what?
A devil snare.
Yeah, that devil snare. So we get introduced to a bunch of like nice little side characters here in Eric, Bob, and Bode. That and Willie Witterson's like regurgitating toilet plot line.
There's
all these
that
like
too.
very tiny things are like being planted there. But let's see. And then it says we have Bode. His unfaltering gaze did not make him feel any more comfortable because nothing does today. And this is our first mention of the Department of Mysteries, which is a big setup, obviously, for later in the book. That's what the whole book is about. But they get off on the 9th floor, and it says the walls were bare. There were no windows and no doors apart from a plain black one set at the very end of the corridor. Boom. That's the description you get of the door that you're going to be wondering about for the rest of the book. But that's it.
That's it.
That's
yes.
the door.
And it's almost surprising that Harry doesn't find it to be familiar because he's already seeing this.
Yeah,
in
he's
his
already
sleep
seeing
because
it, yeah.
Voldemort is focusing on this particular door.
Yeah. But of course, Harry has been extremely overstimulated this entire morning, so he's a little preoccupied.
That's right. That's
Yep.
right. Yep. So they work their way over. They reach the bottom of the steps and ran along yet another corridor, which bore great resemblance to that which led to Snape's dungeon at Hogwarts, with rough stone walls and torches and brackets.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like the facade that we were talking about earlier, where it's like the Ministry up above has kind of got these like gleaming walls and tiles, and like everything's like, you know, the golden statue and all that. But then down below it all, that's where you see the truth. That's where you see what things are really like. It's
Right.
rough. It's a dungeon.
Yeah. And as if Harry needed anything to make him feel better, it feels like he's going to Snape's class. Yeah, but he gets down there. Now we're outside of a grimy, dark door with an immense iron lock because magic doesn't exist. Yeah. And then to cap it all off, they're finally here, and Mr. Weasel's like, "All right, see ya. Go on in. Good luck.
Aren't you coming with me?
I'll see you back at the house for the meatballs.
For better or for worse.
Let me
all
know
right?
how it goes."
Oh
Yeah.
man, this is another one of those details where it's just like, no, I'm not allowed. Good luck. And it's sort of like, was
How
nobody
do you know?
why not bring this up too?
Yeah.
Were you always not going to be allowed?
I know, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're not
yeah.
going to be allowed ever. Yeah.
They really spent no time preparing Harry for this. at
I
all.
know. Yeah.
But yeah, so then the chapter rounds off with he swallowed hard, turned the heavy iron door handle, and stepped inside the courtroom.
Boom. We did it.
We did it.
End of chapter. Chapter 7. Bam. Woo. Fun one.
So, yes. So thank you. This is the moment where normally I would ask Jay if you had a review for
Yeah.
us, but obviously since we have a live audience with us today, maybe you guys can let us know. What do you think? Did we do okay? Woo!
Yeah, I think that's a 5-star review.
I think that's 5.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
5.
Yeah, 5-star review. Yeah.
There
totally.
we go. Well, do you want to close this out for podcast
Oh,
reasons?
yeah, okay. So this will be like an episode on the YouTube channel. So if you want to go watch this particular episode, you can go do that there. Make sure you're subscribed,
Yeah, no,
You know, if
silver
you're
play
not,
button, right?
you might think you are, but maybe you're not. Go check it out. Silver play button, guys.
Right, yeah, exactly.
We can do it.
The stakes are high.
The stakes are high. We can do it. But we'll put it on the set. It'd be so cool. In any case, thank you guys so much for joining us here in St. Louis for Chapter 7. Make sure you join us next week right here on Through the Griffin Door for Chapter 8, The Hearing. Boom. We did it!
Today's episode was edited by Ethan Edghill. Vaishon Brandon does our art. Catherine Stein is our production manager, and the show is hosted by me and Jonathan Carlin.